Alright guys, so it feels like Christmas because Mobile Man has released another top 10 hardest hitters in Dokkan list. Now, there are several units who have been on this list for, months and months and months and closing in on a year now. So, as we go through this list, I've done basically a video on every version Mobile Man has done of this list for, I feel like closing in on a year now. So, for certain units like, spoiler alert, Int Vegeta, I will be very briefly covering him because we already know why he's a hard hitter. Now, the first thing that we got to take a look at here is the Universe 7 representatives team. But Mobile Man does give an optimal team here for both the Universe 7 representatives as well as the full power category team. I did do a video on that full power category team as well, kind of seeing how good LR, Goku, and Frieza perform on that team. What's interesting about this Universe 7 team that's optimal is that God of Destruction Topo gets no buff whatsoever from the leader skill, but he still, brings more attack to that team than, say, the Tech Android 18 or the AGL God Goku or AGL Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. So I did think that was pretty interesting to at least point out right there. Tien is also here for the optimal full power team. It's just insane how much attack he gives LR, Goku, and Frieza, and just through the sheer amount of extra attack power that he gives them, he actually makes it onto this top 10 hardest hitters list as well. So that's really interesting. Alright, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. The top 10 hardest hitters in Dokkan list. Whoops, spoiler alert, we saw one of them. Alright, so anyway, here's Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks right here. He has that 120% passive, additional 60% for 7 turns from the start of turn. He massively raises attack 11 key super, raises his attack on 12 key super. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, just a ridiculously hard hitter. He is calced on the Fusion team, by the way. LR Super Gogeta's Fusion team. Alright, so at number 9, we have God of Destruction Topo here. What's interesting is the team that he is, providing the most attack is here on the representative of Universe 7 team, which he does not even get an attack buff from. That's what's really, really interesting about that. He also... Interesting that he does beat Turles out, by the way. I presume because of Rival Duo right there, which Turles does not have. Plus, God of Destruction Topo would also give more... Yeah, he would give more key to LR, Goku, and Frieza as well, because God Topo does have both Shocking Speed as well as Tournament of Power, and Turles, his only real key link is Prepared for Battle. So he would give them 3 key, whereas God Topo gives them 5 key. So it looks like he does eke out Turles a little bit in terms of that Universe 7 representatives team. Topo was chosen over Super Saiyan 2 Kale because he provides LR, Goku, and Frieza with the same amount of key and has a larger 35% attack and defensive support buff. So God Topo, global players, and you guys should be getting this guy very soon. He does awaken with medals from the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta Dokkan Fest. So I think that probably is the next one coming to global. Moving on to unit number 8, we have full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Looks like he provides the most damage on the Shadow Dragon team. I guess that does make sense because one of Super Saiyan 4 Goku's strongest attack links, of course, is Saiyan Roar, which you can't activate on the full power team. No other unit has Saiyan Roar on the full power team. So in order to get that to activate, he's here on the Shadow Dragon team, linked up with, I believe, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So that's pretty good. Considered to have an average passive buff at 156%, based on the team maintaining an average of 80% HP across a fight. So that's funny, it's the average 156% when the SCR Super Saiyan 4 Goku's at 150%. But remember, one other thing that I think is very important for global players especially to remember is that you can use both Super Saiyan 4 Gokus on the same team. The only team you can do that on is the Pure Saiyan team or the Hero team, but they can both be used. So even though Tech Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he's not like a head and shoulders upgrade over the SCR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he really does not need to be, because you can use them both. He's not like, this is not, what's a good example? The physical Super Vegito replacing AGL Super Vegito, because you could use both. Alright, so moving on to Super Gogeta. We'll be real quick right here. We know why he's so strong. 120% attack, attacks effective against all types, boom. And he is, of course, calced on the Fusion team, LR Gogeta's Fusion team. Next, we have Tien, who's calced on the Universe 7 Representatives team. He just gives so much to LR Goku and Frieza. 3 key, he gives them the 40% attack and defense. And then, of course, he also has Rival Duo, 10% attack link, and Experienced Fighters, another 10% attack link. I actually went ahead and rainbowed this Tien just because of how much he really brings to them. It's very, very impressive. Initially hesitated to consider Tien as a first unit on one of the rotations. Okay, basically, so Mobile Man talks about how he wasn't sure if he wanted to have Tien on there just because Tien does not really provide a lot of defense, right? God Topo kind of works on that team because he's a floater. But then, of course, Tien, you have to stick him right there in the first slot, really taking damage from enemies. But Mobile Man does say the team does have enough health that he doesn't think it's too much of an issue. Because, again, for hardest hitting units, it's not mattering how many items you use, right? Like, of course, you can go through an event, without Tien on the team, and your team will be more sound defensively, but you're not going to output as much damage. This list is just all about damage anyway. So, all right, now we'll move on to the next unit here. We have LR Super Gogeta. Of course, factored on their own team, the Fusion Dance team. Based on the last 5 Dokkan Fest released, LR Gogeta are now very likely to transform during the latter stages of a fight. Based on my testing, LR Super Gogeta has approximately 30% uptime during those fights. So the fact that in some of the more recent Dokkan Fest fights, they actually have the ability to transform is helpful. I mean, here's the thing. I somewhat disagree with this. I feel as though a lot of the recent Dokkan Fest fights are actually kind of tame. Not on global, but this is a JP list anyway. But Physical Android 17, Physical Future Gohan were very, very underwhelming fights. I would even say the Transforming Goku and Frieza as well. Very, very underwhelming fights. Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku maybe is a little tough. Jiren, Evolution Blue Vegeta, and Ultra Instinct Goku, of course, from several months ago on JP, those are still, the cream of the crop difficulty Dokkan events. On those events, for sure, you will get transformations to occur, but you're definitely not going to transform going through Future Gohan's event. Future Gohan is just too weak. He's just not, he doesn't put up a fight whatsoever. But Physical LR Gogeta, of course, we know attack 120%. Then they get the 3 key per Rainbow Key Sphere, which is just very, very helpful for them. Allows them to output a lot of damage. Next, we have Physical Super Vegito on the Potara team. He, of course, is a very powerful unit. Most of his damage does come from counters, though, which does make it very wonky in terms of using him on the Potara team, and then also using Tech Vegito Blue, who I believe is the next unit coming up right here. Yeah, Tech Vegito Blue also considered on the Potara team. The optimal Potara team involves having Super Saiyan 3 Bardock and Int Gogeta on the teams, so that you can sort of optimize Physical Super Vegito and Tech Vegito Blue and let them sort of run wild, and they will carry you in terms of damage for the Potara team. I don't particularly like using that Potara team. Usually, if I'm running Tech Vegito Blue, I will run him on the Realm of Gods team, where he's a perfect fit. But of course, Realm of Gods team is only 150% attack, whereas the Potara team is 170% attack. So this is where, Blue Vegito will output the most damage, as long as you build the team around him to that degree, right? Alright, so moving on to number 2. Now, LR Vegito Blue, right? The thing about this list is it's like all of these units, Tech Vegito Blue, Physical Vegito, all these guys are calced at the free dupe level. So they're all 55% in the dupe system. LR Vegito Blue, because he's a free-to-play unit, Mobile Man is calcing him at 100%. He's calced as being a rainbow unit. This is why he has such a massive attack stat, and he's actually number 2 on this list, above even Tech Vegito Blue. Now, see, what's funny is, like, I agree that, like, you know, basically the way Mobile Man's doing this, right? He's presuming that, you know, players are not going to be able to pull on every Dokkan Fest, get multiple copies. I get that. But this list does become very strange because, you know, as soon as you get one dupe in Tech Vegito Blue or Physical Super Vegito, I'm sure LR Gogeta, a lot of these units will jump over LR Vegito Blue. So while he is number 2 on this list, remember, he is counted as being a rainbow unit. All of the other units on this list are counting as not having any dupes whatsoever. That is an important thing to remember. But LR Vegito Blue, at this point, like, Metal Cooler, LR Metal Cooler, I think is a slightly better unit. But, like, you still can't even rainbow him yet on JP. I don't think they've released every copy available to rainbow him in the Baba Shop yet. So, like, I mean, the crown for best free-to-play unit in the game remains on LR Vegito Blue's head, at the very least, until we can actually rainbow LR Metal Cooler. You know, LR Vegito Blue is very easy to get. LR Metal Cooler, not so much. You have to do months and months of Dokkan Battlefield before he's on a comparable level to LR Vegito Blue. So, while I don't like Vegito Blue's placement here, I also do like it, if that makes sense. I don't know, I'm conflicted. But he's definitely an impressive unit, no doubt. And then, of course, number 1, I mean, LR Super Vegito. Basically, the way this works is, as soon as Mobile Man was able to factor in at any time at all of these fuckers having their transformation active, and this beast coming out, LR Super Vegito, he will output damage that only, like, LR Goku and Frieza can match. He is just incredible. He is the king. But, of course, now we do have LR Goku and Frieza. And both of these units are on the Potara team as well. Interesting that the Potara team has the top 4 units on the top 10 hardest hitting list. That's very interesting. Very fair. Very fair and balanced team, Potara. You know, really, we could also say, hey, Vegito is the top 4 slots. So Vegito, very balanced unit in Dokkan. I wonder how Vegito is going to be in Legends. I'm very curious. Alright, so let's kind of skim down here and we can take a look at some stuff. So here's the change log. Tien, Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and God Topo were added since the last list, and Evolution Blue Vegeta, the SCR Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Bulma card, and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta were removed. RIP to my man Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. A king, a true king. Vegeta and Bulma don't have a category, that's what's holding them back. And Evolution Blue Vegeta, he's still just as good as ever of a unit. Alright, so now we'll move on to the top 5 hardest hitting non-Dokkan Fest Gacha LRs. The previous list was basically free-to-play units, Dokkan Fest LRs, as well as like Dokkan Fest cards, normal cards, all of that stuff. This is just, you know, for, you know, LR Cell, LR Goku and Frieza, LR Goku Black, LR Gohan, these type of LRs. So, in the number 5 slot on the full power team, we have LR Gohan. LR Gohan able to produce the most amount of damage with LR Broly on rotation on the full power team. Very interesting. Number 4, we have LR Bojack on the Movie Boss category team. Of course, y'all know how I've bigged up the Movie Boss category team repeatedly. With Turles, you know, double Turles on that team, you are just overflowing with so much ki. The team is so powerful. I will be very curious to see what happens when the Dragon Ball Super Broly comes out, and how that will affect the Movie Boss category team, by the way. Next, we have LR Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, calced on the Movie Boss team, not the full power team, okay? Again, just having Turles there provides way too much, you know, with the 3 ki and 40% attack buff. Every unit that can be on the Movie Boss category team is going to look the best on the Movie Boss category team, just how it works. Number 2, we have LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the Super Saiyan 3 category team. I think LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku took a big hit from LR Goku and Frieza being released. Now, he has been relegated off of, I think, a lot. Like, I would never run him on the full power team. I don't even really think I would run LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku on the Pure Saiyan team either. If they gave us another Pure Saiyan category leader that had Over in a Flash, like, I don't know, let's just say LR Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku is a 170% attack buff Pure Saiyan category leader, and, he's got, Over in a Flash. At that point, LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku would become pretty fucking good for the Pure Saiyan team, but we're not quite at that point yet. I really, really am praying that they will give a lot of these categories second leader options, because it would help open up a lot of these category teams, but, we'll see if they actually do decide to do that. Problem with LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku, of course, is you have to hit his 18 key for him to do any realistic damage. And then 3.1 million average attack. And then LR Goku and Frieza, 4.9 average attack. Best unit in the game. You cannot change my mind on this. They are the king of Dokkan as of right now. Just insanity. They're triple 77% buffs. The ease at getting their 18 key super because of their godly link set. Just a truly nightmare of a unit. Let's read Mobile Man's notes for this one. So, of course, they're calced on the Universe 7 representative team. They're considered to have an average passive attack buff of 231%. The reason for that is that Tien and MVP 17, both reduce the enemy's attack when they super, are considered to be the first unit on each rotation in the Universe 7 representatives team. I've tested this thoroughly myself, and it works like a glove. Like, it's a dream rotation, a dream team. Even with Tien and 17 doesn't really take a ton of damage, especially if you get hurt a little bit. 17 starts becoming a really good tank, but the team is just so good. Additionally, none of the 5 most recent Dokkan Fest bosses on JP have immunity to attack reduction in any phase of their respective fights. I feel like that's not true. Okay, the Blue Goku and the Golden Frieza transforming Dokkan Fest, in their last phase, they must just be immune to stunning and sealing, huh? But you could still lower their attack and defense. Okay, that's probably what I'm thinking of. So, I mean, if they're gonna do this, where they're not gonna make these bosses immune to this shit anymore, then, yeah, this unit will just continue to reign supreme. Now, of course, on the Ultra Instinct Goku boss fight, he is immune to attack lowering. I know Super Saiyan 3 Bardock is immune to it. I believe Jiren is immune to it. I believe Evolution Blue Vegeta is also immune to having their attack lowered. But the most recent fights, you can do it. So we'll see. Transforming Super Buu. I mean, I'm predicting he's going to be another piss-easy boss fight, because he's probably going to be SCR the whole way through, like the Transforming Goku, LR Gogeta, LR Vegito, the same kind of thing. But we'll see what they decide to do with it. But until, at the bare minimum, some of these bosses get, their attack reduction immunity back, this unit will just continue to reign supreme. I mean, unlike LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku, where you would struggle and claw to get his 18 key super, with them, it's just a matter of fact. They're getting their 18 key super. That's just the way it is. And then for this non-Dokkan Fest LR list, LR Goku and Frieza were added, LR Trunks and Goten were removed, and LR Gohan, his average attack was adjusted to fit his new best team, the full power team over the hybrid Saiyan team. So there we go, guys. There is the top 10 hardest hitting Dokkan list. Dokkan Fest normal units, Dokkan Fest LRs, and then, of course, basically the top 5 hardest hitting LRs. LR Goku and Frieza is the king. That's the way it'll probably be for at least a little while. Big shoutouts, of course, to Mobile Man over on the Dokkan subreddit. Big shoutouts to the Dokkan subreddit in general. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch y'all in the next one.